In this short, I want to talk a little bit about the awareness of the change curve and how we can see that people are actually moving through the change curve, although we might not fully be aware of it. And why I want to talk about this is, so I'm doing this particular short in the middle of the massive heat wave that we're having this summer. And that is having us really feel the effects of climate change and that it is real. And I'm having a lot of people say, how come people are still not changing? How come people are still not getting it? We're actually in an emergency. So I'm seeing that coming from the world, which is very into wanting to make things more sustainable and very aware. But the piece around that, which I think that people are missing, is this. It's that we are actually moving through the change curve. It's not that people are not moving forward. It's just that they're not fully on the other side of the change curve yet. And what I mean by that is that before, where they were was at the denial stage. So this is where everybody was denying that climate change was an issue, and there was different stages of that. Generally, it was an issue at all. And then the next bit to that was it was an issue for them, right? It might be for their children and their grandchildren, but not for them. I think what we've got to now is a realization that actually climate change is real, and we're getting to that realization, and it's going to impact me. And so that is actually a big piece. And so what I'm seeing is we're actually moving to the next stage of the change curve, which is the bargaining stage. And it's important to understand that we are moving through, although what we're moving through are layers of resistance. So that's why it seems that nothing's really breaking through. But the good news is as we move through the layers of resistance, we will get to the breakthrough, because that's how it works. So we have to be willing to be tracking things. And so what's happened is people have moved from this denial, and of course there's still some there, but there's a big bulk of the population that has moved from denial to bargaining. And bargaining looks like, well, maybe I can do a little bit, or maybe I can actually bargain with this kind of climate change. Maybe I don't have to change that much, right? Okay, now it's real, but, maybe I can just still go on whatever holiday and whatever long haul, and, it's kind of going to be fine. Maybe I'll plant a few trees, or, if I just do one trip, it's going to be fine, kind of thing, right? There's this piece where we're bargaining with it, and it's like either I can do the strict minimum, or I can be aware of it, and maybe I don't have to fully do something about it. Maybe the people over there can do something about it. So it's the bargaining as to how much do I need to do? Is it me that needs to do something? There's quite a lot of things going on about the government isn't doing anything, right? The leaders aren't doing anything. And so this is all part of this bargaining stage, which is somebody else is not doing anything. I can get away with this much, right? I don't have to change that much. That's kind of the energy of the bargaining phase. And it's so let's celebrate that. I know it's not where we want to be, but that means that there's progress. That means that there's movement forward. Because as we navigate through the change curve, what's actually happening for people is they are having to reinvent their life around this new set of circumstances. And so instead of complaining about the apathy or the resistance or that it's not moving fast enough, let's support people in terms of showing them that they can reinvent things, but they can actually reinvent them for the better. Because another piece that I see here is a lot of doom and gloom, which is, and what I mean by that, it's focusing a lot on, here, you've got to move away from this big, bad, horrific climate change. And by the way, I've read the stuff on it. It is big, bad, and horrific. But the reality is that this is not what gets people through the change curve. What gets people through the change curve is hope. It's the fact that they can still see a positive future on the other side of this. So acknowledging that people are moving through the change curve at the bargaining stage. What they really need is support to see how they can still create something that's going to work for them on the other side of this. That's it. They've left port. They don't need the whole horrific story kind of told over and over again. Because actually what that does is that it has them kind of collapse into, there's nothing I can do anyway, so what's the point? I'll bargain and just do nothing, even though I know it actually is happening. So doing that is actually counterproductive. What we're needing to do is we're needing to show that we can do this. We can do this, and we can do this together. And start imagining together what the future will look like, so that we can together reinvent our lives in a way that enables that true flourishing for ourselves, for the planet, and with each other. And that is the vision that we need to carry now in order to be able to accelerate that shift through the change curve and really get the breakthrough that we yearn for.